you guys. Okay, so, as every day, it's a busy day over there in the federal courthouse. And the Proud Boys, they didn't have the jury sit today. They had motions about how they were going to go forward with certain evidence and that. So I didn't really sit in on that. When we were waiting in line, though, we were beside a Jan 6 defendant. His last name is Badalian. But he rode in the car with Art Rodriguez that was near Fanone and the taser and all of those things. And he's having a bench trial that had started last week. Gina, when she came out here on the corner, she had testified in his case during that week. And this kid was very direct. He doing the bench trial is very different because the judge is directly listening to your testimony and the questions and all of it, not just directed at the jury. So as he's asking these questions, here's some of the things that they're going through these chats, and this is how they've convicted everybody. It's not convicted them, but it's shown things in a bad light because they take things out of context. So they take a message and then they take a reply that could have nothing to do with the actual message. They've done this time and time again. And this kid was calling the prosecutor out on it. He said, "You're taking that out of context. I know where you're going with this." And with a lot of people that day that did bring any type of gear or anything like that, they were preparing for Antifa. It has been said over and over and over again, no one was preparing to take on the government that day. I have yet to hear or even hear an FBI agent say in any of the cases I've sat in on that was anyone's direct plan, ever. So, the reason anyone had gear was because of all the instances through the summer and leading up to January 6th that Antifa caused violence against patriots. And this kid Badalian says in one of his statements, he said, this is an ongoing war between Antifa and patriots. Because during his chats, he was talking about this war we need to prepare for. He wasn't meaning the government, but the government is saying it that way so they can indict him on an obstruction charge that has a weight of 20 years. And it's based on a lie and misconstruing facts. So they even talked about the items that they brought with them to go to the Capitol, which once again was to protect themselves from Antifa, not take on the United States government with a taser. I believe they had a taser and bear spray because that's what you need to take on the United States government. I'm sure the Japanese really wish they had that information. So at any rate, there was a question about, you also took a baton, and the kid's like, "No, we did not take a baton." And the prosecutor literally said, "No, but you were willing to buy and bring one to DC." Okay, how is that anything to do with the events of that day? What he's trying to say is they had a cache of weapons that they brought to take on the Capitol Police or the Metropolitan Police. And that's a lie. They're just building a narrative.
That's quite literally a thought crime.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to bring that up, is that he literally asked that question. Mickey and I just looked at each other like, where are we? Once again, it's a kangaroo court because we're the only ones in there on the defendant's side. The only ones. There's no other reporters in there for any of it. So when you talk about a tribunal or a kangaroo court, that's what's happening there because there was so much going on today. You can't sit through all of it if you're trying to make it someplace else. So I'm sorry if I don't have all the details for the haters out there, but we're doing the best we can. And this kid, they also brought up, this kid, he went to Youth Liberty School, Pierce College, and he had made a statement during some of his messages that he had protest training. And he said, "Yes, I did." And the prosecutor's like, "Protest training?" Trying to, that was training, tactical training, I guess. But the kid was like, no, the training consisted of, obeying the laws, basically, but knowing that you can push back. And he made a statement. He said, what I noticed that day was that in other protests I've been to, which has been in upwards of 25 protests, I have never seen the police move the crowd the way they did that day. He said, I've never seen it. He said, the prosecutor asked him about the tear gas and the tear gas being deployed. And he said they were indiscriminately spraying tear gas in other protests. The way they use chemical munitions, is how it was put, is to sway the crowd away, not to just indiscriminately spray them. By spraying them that way, they were inciting the crowd. And, that's just another example. Is anybody picking up on that was there? No, because there was no conservative reporting coming from there. But that is exactly what he was saying. That is exactly, he was a witness to that. These are some of the shenanigans that the smoke and mirrors that the government puts on. There was a sentencing today for John Douglas Wright. Now, he was sentenced to 49 months. And here are some of the statements that he was convicted on. He said, yesterday was just a practice run. And that was a statement he made on the 7th. He just went on and said different things about this is our house. Yesterday was the beginning of the war, and I promise that we will be back. Okay, so the American people do have a right to be back, and the American people have a right to have a redress of grievances. And once again, people went there to have a redress of grievances, not take on the American government. They prepared for Antifa. And now people are getting 4, 5, 7, 10 years in prison for ideology that our forefathers, handed down to us. They graced us with that. And now that's being criminalized in this courtroom. And it's done over and over and over again. Sarah Carpenter, she was here at the vigil last night. She's amazing. We didn't get to see her today, but she had jury selection today, and she'll be back there tomorrow. Some news on Sean McHugh. He's great about calling in and everything. Everything he put forward towards the judge as far as and Sean's charged with encouraging a mob with a megaphone. Because that's super dangerous that's really scary to the government. It's so scary.
Get to cross the street over there. What is it?
I mean, it's really scary. They get their feelings hurt so bad. And the poor Capitol Police, they're having PTSD because of the mean words that were said to them that day. And, so I'm really sorry for them. But Sean McHugh, they denied everything. They denied his change of venue. Who is it?
I'm going to show you something.
That's crazy.
Okay, so Kara has something.
We'll read it and come back and talk about it.
Okay, yeah, but here, I'll read it and come back because, so Sean was denied everything, but his protective order was put in place. That was the only thing the judge granted. Ryan Nichols, he's been a high-profile case. His trial will be coming up March 27th. He's a fellow Texan, so I know that. But, this John Douglas Wright, he was sentenced by Judge KK, Judge Cotelli, or Cotelli, I think is how it's said. I don't know. She has a long name. But it's really unfortunate what's happening there. But everyone that is holding the line and going to trial and sticking it out and all these things are getting on the record, I know that it sucks. It sucks for my husband. He's going through it. But y'all are so brave. I have to say the bravery I see, because you're being ridiculed, you're being lied about, your character's being slandered, but you are holding the line and you are taking it forward and you are trying to hold this government accountable and not saying that you're guilty for something that you don't believe you're guilty for.
That's right.
So, I'm really proud, and I'm proud of everybody, because it's not easy being in that courtroom. It's not. You know, they are really taking your character and just trashing it for the world to see, because they want your family to be embarrassed, and they want other Americans to know that if you stand up against this government, they'll ruin your life. And because that's historically is what they've done to their dissidents. And I'm going to stand here and say my husband's going to hold the line. There's Susie. I hope Sarah's here. Oh, good. And you know, we've just got to keep moving forward. So I'm going to get off here before I ramble all night like someone we used to know, and and get off here.
Started posting J6 videos, and they're like, they give me a.
All right, you guys. So you know, we all know that CPAC or J6PAC was a success these past few days, and a really great talking point. Everyone had their eyes on us. We had these really great shirts with Ashley's face on the front and Roseanne on the back. And, you know, we're going to be having those up on the For Ashley site. 2 or 3 days, we'll let everybody know. It's a really great talking point. You know, you wear them around. People want to know. You see the support, and it will also help support us out here, you know, boots on the ground here in D.C. So, you know, everybody knows that we are newly independent, and, you know, so moving forward, we really encourage everyone to help us at forashley.com. You know, we have a lot of great information on there, and there's a way to donate, and another way that you can support us and get the word out are going to be those shirts. So we will let everybody know when they are up on the site. And, you know, we appreciate everybody's support so far. We know you guys got us. And we're going to, you know, like I said, we're going to be doing some new things. I do believe, you know, Gary McBride of M5 Newsgate, he's put out some really great videos. I believe tomorrow night he's going to come up here and we're going to talk about a couple of them. But I encourage you to go to his website. I know Tucker has some stuff going on right now, but Gary has a lot of stuff on his site, and it really shows, you know, what happened that day, the different stories that happened that day, and how no one should be in jail right now. And, you know, and it also has the murder of Roseanne Boylan, and, you know, much of the reason why we're out here is to bring justice to Ashley and Roseanne, and to stand in solidarity with these Jan 6 political prisoners until they all get to come home. And, you know, you can do that by helping support us at forashley.com. And, you know, the song that's coming up is by the J6 Choir. They're calling it Donald Trump. President Trump has put in the Pledge of Allegiance in there, and all proceeds to this will go to the Jan 6 families. And, you know, you can see it on YouTube. You can go out there. Cowboy Logic has it ending there. Look, it had like 300,000 views on YouTube. So, you know, that's really great. Thank you, American Patriots out there. And it looks like we're about to have a phone call.